The Miami Dolphins might be on the verge of making a move that could flip their quarterback situation upside down. Tua Tagovailoa, a guy who's shown flashes of brilliance, finds himself under the microscope again because of his health. His latest concussion, it's another in a line of concerns, has raised questions within the organization. Can he be the guy long-term? Are his repeated head injuries going to become a constant hurdle for him and the team? That's the question everyone's asking right now, and it's tough to ignore. And now, rumors are swirling about another quarterback, Bryce Young. The 2023 #1 overall pick, who was supposed to be the savior for the Carolina Panthers, suddenly doesn't look like their guy anymore. 2 games into his second season, he's already on the bench, and that's a red flag for any franchise. So now, the speculation begins, is his time in Carolina already coming to an end? That's the buzz, especially since veteran quarterback Andy Dalton has stepped in to take over the starting role. It's a move that's left a lot of people wondering what's next for Young. But what makes this even more interesting is that the Dolphins are being mentioned as a potential landing spot for Young. ESPN's Bill Barnwell has thrown out an idea, sending Young to Miami in exchange for a conditional 4th-round pick in 2025. It's a suggestion that feels like it could really make waves, especially considering what Young brings to the table. Sure, his time in Carolina hasn't gone as planned, but is that entirely on him? Carolina's been a mess, and maybe, just maybe, Young hasn't had the right pieces around him to thrive. Barnwell's reasoning makes you think. He says Young's skill set could fit perfectly in Miami's offense, one that's built around getting the ball out fast, using RPOs, and allowing the quarterback to create plays on the fly. It's the kind of system that might bring out the best in Young, who showed that ability when he was tearing it up at Alabama. Could he bring that magic to Miami? The thought of that is enough to make any Dolphins fan pause for a second. Financially, it's a move that makes sense for Miami too. Young's contract isn't a huge burden. He's owed $10.7 million through the 2026 season. That's not bad at all for a backup quarterback with potential. And let's be honest, the Dolphins wouldn't be bringing in Young to just sit behind Tua forever. No, this would be a move with the future in mind. Maybe Tua's concussions keep piling up, and maybe Young gets his shot to prove that he can be the guy again, this time in a system that works for him. On the flip side, you've got to wonder what this all means for the Panthers. It's becoming clearer with every game that they might be ready to move on from Young. The decision to bench him so early in his second season speaks volumes about how the team feels right now. Sure, they'll never come out and say it directly, but actions speak louder than words. If Carolina is willing to let him go, it could be an acknowledgement that they're ready to look elsewhere for their future quarterback. Maybe that search begins in the 2025 NFL Draft. So where does this leave us? All eyes are on Bryce Young and the Dolphins as the trade deadline creeps closer. Are the Dolphins ready to pull the trigger on a move that would bring in a young quarterback with a lot to prove? Is Miami looking to hedge its bets on Tua's health? And is Bryce Young ready to step into a new situation, one that might actually set him up for success? There are so many moving parts here, but one thing is for sure, something big could be on the horizon. The idea of Bryce Young in a Dolphins uniform, learning behind Tua, with the possibility of stepping in if needed, that's something that could shake things up in Miami. And if this trade goes down, it won't just be about bringing in a backup. It'll be about bringing in someone who still has untapped potential, someone who might be waiting for the right opportunity to show the league what he can really do. Is this the move the Dolphins need to make to secure their future at quarterback? Or are they willing to bet it all on Tua's health, despite the growing concerns? It's a tough call, but one that could define the franchise for years to come.